welcome to Knit Night. My name's Therese, and I'm here with always friendly, but terribly hot right now, Liz Clothier.
That would be me.
And we also have Annie from A Stitch in the Sky. We have Amy from Two Sisters and Some Yarn and Her Life Knitter. We have Neil from Block Magazine. And we have Caro, the hostess with the mostest, joining us.
Definitely. She was the other night. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's everybody doing?
Not knitting at the moment.
Me neither. I'm making a shawl.
Melting, but not knitting. My
I don't know
blanket.
about everyone else, but I'm in pain. How about you,
My blanket's
Amy?
in the same exact spot it was when we quit the other night because I have not touched it. Because, yeah, I think I'm gonna learn that Portuguese purling.
I think
try that.
Watching you all knit like crazy, it gave me CTS, and I wasn't even doing it.
It hurt pretty much the rest of the night and a good part of the next next day.
Yeah.
I was okay yesterday. Today it's hit me. My shoulder and my elbow. So this shoulder and this elbow are really painful. But yesterday
yesterday was in my arm was yesterday lifting it, and then my fingers are cramping, but they're better today. So
for the babies.
It's for the babies. And to recap, we raised what, 475 in super chats, Amy?
What's that?
We raised 475 in super chats, I think.
I thought it was 500.
We rounded it up to 5. Oh. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. And I know a lot of other people donated directly to the website. They said so. So thank you, everyone who donated and participated and came up with crazy things to make Tabitha do, because that was, especially Joe Bob. She was on a roll. That was enough. And Tab, if you're listening, listening, she's a good sport for playing along.
Yeah.
I'm still going to pretend like I hacked her internet to turn her modem off.
Oh, well, it's for the babies.
For the babies.
Do we know that she didn't turn her modem off? She's just saying she didn't turn her modem off. I don't know.
She's trying to give everybody a fighting chance. She's like, if it takes me 5 minutes and you have it caught up, well, too bad.
Yeah. To all our friends who are...
sorry, I think it's great that I can be the slowest knitter and yet still win.
Yeah.
So I am.
Yeah. Well,
you fixed your train to Tabitha.
Because you were you're using your Knitler powers.
No. Oh, we'll get onto that shortly. I've got something to say.
I just call it. Yeah.
Let me just say something real quick. To everybody who's been impacted by the hurricane, we are thinking about you. And if there's anything we can do, please let us know. We love you guys, and we hope everybody's okay. And we're sorry that you're struggling. And
so
hopefully
bad.
everybody.
And when life is normal again and y'all need yarn, let us know.
Exactly.
I'm sure we can share.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then one more thing.
No, it's my yarn.
Before I forget. Teresa and I were talking, and she's letting me do an informal knit along.
Letting you.
Starting. Hey, I'm adopting the Ann and DK thing. Okay.
There can only be one benevolent dictator.
That's right. We're partners. It's the Christmas sweater Goodwill Towards Men. Basically, between now and January 7th, because that's Orthodox Christmas, and we don't want to exclude any our Orthodox friends. You just have to knit a sweater. If it's a Christmas sweater, great, more points. If you don't celebrate Christmas, that's fine. Just knit whatever you want. Any kind knit or crochet sweater for adult between now and January 7th.
Adult. Okay, that was my question.
Wait,
an adult.
Sweater?
I mean, you could knit two kid sweaters or a couple baby sweaters if you want to participate, but it's really informal. I've never had a Christmas sweater, and last few years Christmas has not been really something I've gone all in on like I used to, and I kind of feel like this year I really want to dive into the Goodwill Towards Men, wear a kitschy Christmas sweater all of December, and just be obnoxious about it.
Or smaller people.
Amy can knit whatever she wants.
Like, can I give it to an adult small?
Yeah, that's fine.
I have to say, Amy, I'm digging your Rosie Riveter look.
Yeah, do the arm thing, Amy.
Yeah. We can do it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like I said, January 7th is Orthodox Christmas. So for our Orthodox friends, I wanted to give them till then. And if you're not celebrating Christmas because that's not your belief system, you're still welcome, and we want you to participate and just knit or crochet, whatever you want.
I mean, goodwill to all men is not
Yeah.
No.
It's a
religious thing.
sentiment that I think we need a lot more acknowledgement of. And I think a lot of times people get upset because they're not, Christians get upset if they say Merry Christmas, and people get offended. And then people get offended if you just say Happy Holidays and not Merry Christmas. And I just think people should just start taking, when people wish you well, take it in the spirit in which it's given. And it's goodwill towards men. So that's my thing. Okay, go ahead, Neil.
I just want to be offended by everything, though. Like
you can.
How dare? I'm leaving.
I'll make it you know what? I can make it a festive sweater.
Yeah, make it a festive. Anything that makes you happy, because it's been a rough year, and I just want something that people can knit just or crochet for fun. Not that's a gift that you have to give away, just something that you want to make that brings you joy. And for me, it's going to be a crazy Christmas sweater. So that's it.
Easy Christmas sweater.
Well, kind of crazy. But...
I make no promises, but I will offer prizes.
Aw, thank you. But there will be a few number of prizes. I'm not going to go all out. But
guess what they'll be?
Would it
I don't know.
Stitch stoppers,
maybe.
Hey, Ames, do you have any Schitt's Creek stitch stoppers?
No, I have not found them yet.
Oh, we need some.
I have never used a stitch stopper in my life.
What's the matter with you, Neil?
I wouldn't remember to use it.
How do you keep the stitches on your needle?
They're not new.
They just stay there.
Oh, see, I'm.
Well, you know, he knits tight, so
that's true. Mine too.
Yeah, I don't use them.
How do the cats not pull? Like, that's why I do it. So if the cats get a hold of it,
I don't leave anything out. So when I stop knitting, it goes straight into a box or.
I don't always remember. Like, I'll pull some for when I start a project, and most of the time I try to put them on, but I don't always.
No,
in the middle, it's not going to come off.
But now that I have plenty.
Yeah.
So.
My stitches are so tight that when I do take them off,
they don't
the
come
needles
off,
are bent in the middle.
Such a tight wad.
Anne's here.
Hi, I'm late.
Hello.
And think of a
shirt.
The reason we're all sore today.
Yeah.
I know, I'm so sore.
But it's for the babies.
For the babies.
For the
That's what we need
babies.
to do. Be like, for the babies.
Yeah, except no. How? No, yesterday I tried to work on my blanket a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I'll finish it. And then like, no, I won't. So I'll try tonight. I might have to grab another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I need to own up to something. I'm going to be frogging my blanket. I'm not going to be posting it, but I have made a donation to Let Them Live. But I did it before we did our knitting thing. So I feel like I've balanced it out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make a sweater out of it. Sorry.
Oh.
Because I bought enough for a sweater, thinking I would get through it all. I don't know what naive nonsense I was smoking that day. I got through 2 balls of it. So I had another 8 waiting.
So what's up with everybody?
You're hiding in my medicine cabinet. So. Cooking.
What's up? Amy's making food.
Oh, let me get my knife for Neil.
Food.
I'm knitting out of this book.
I'm not actually using it, but I have to show Neil knives every time. So.
I can't believe you have pretty knives like that.
Cheap from Amazon knives.
Right. They have holiday knives in stores that you can get on the end caps with like
those are
gingerbread
cute, Annie.
Yeah.
I'm
Do they
doing,
vintage patterns on it?
I'm doing these little mitts.
Oh, those are adorable.
Is it a vintage pattern with it being Woolworths?
Yeah.
Oh, what year was that then?
3-ply I'm doing.
3-ply. Wow. Do they still do 3-ply?
It was 12p.
Wow.
I don't know. That's a little pricey, Annie. Can you afford it?
probably
Hey.
cost more than that for me.
Did you get those other patterns I sent you? The other strawberry stuff?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, blanket.
Okay. Yeah, well, one was a sweater and one was a hat.
I think so. Yes. I think
Okay.
so.
They popped up in my feed. Now all I get are spiders, skeletons, and strawberries on Pinterest because I looked up stuff for you guys, and now that's what my feed is. So it's really it's really fun messing. Yeah. Oh, I also get Star Trek memes. So
Yeah.
1971.
Ooh,
1971.
Wow.
very stylish. So what's up with everybody?
Oh, shall I start with my news?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell me the tea.
Okay, is everyone ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
And I'm going to name names because I think it's quite bad. This Penelope Lister Hemingway. If anyone has heard of her, she's a British knitter. She's a writer as well. And she's
very
published
British name.
Quite a few pattern books, and she's also published a book called Knitters of the Dales. And she hates me with a passion. She's been obsessed with Block magazine for the whole 3 years that we've been running. Anyway, she's sent a message out on Ravelry to get any UK crafters who are small c conservatives reported to the government and to the police for terrorism. And obviously I'm at the top of that list because apart from Annie, I think me and Annie are the only two UK that I know of, so basically she's inciting people to try and get us imprisoned because that's what she wants. And there's a whole load of stuff that she's written on Ravelry about it. So I'm kind of making it public because I think it's really bad.
You should forward it. You should forward it to the reform people.
I'm thinking of going to the police with it, actually. I'm thinking because it's a false accusation that's wasting police time.
Well, I figured that too.
Yeah, the thing is,
but if you want to make it public,
I just think I just find it a little bit unbelievable the lengths that they'll go to simply because they don't agree with my politics.
Because you exist.
Yeah, it's like, what did I actually ever do?
You were born, Neil.
Being sent to prison,
Most of what you do is repeat what they say out of their mouth.
I know. And she's the one that wanted to find my address when she found out that I'd bought her book. And she was desperate to find out who I was. But what she didn't know is that my mum, who has a different last name, bought the book, and she lives in a completely different, or at the time, lived in a completely different area. So she was unable. But if I'd have bought it myself, she would have published my address because she wanted people to know.
Is that not illegal in UK?
You're not allowed
I
to
don't think it is. Yeah. I don't think doxing is illegal. I don't know whether I don't know what that.
If it's done with malicious intent, it can be persecuted.
Yeah, but I think I am going to report it because the other thing that she's doing, apparently she's writing a book and she's researching the UK conservative knitters. So that's like, well, again, as far as I know, it's just me and Annie. Annie probably hasn't even come under her radar yet. Maybe she will today. So I'm assuming it's about me.
And he's got the friend.
But if she finds out about Annie's turfdom, she'll definitely won't she? So I do think she's definitely targeting me, potentially Annie as well. And I think something should be done about that, really, because I think it's because she's trying to do harm. She's not just sort of moaning or slagging somebody off. You know what I mean? She's actually active and encouraging other people to do it.
Arms kind of thing.
Yeah.
In America, we call those people losers and pathetic.
Well, I kind of feel quite good that I bother her so much that for 3 years I have been in the forefront of her mind and she's been researching me for 3 years.
What's it like to live rent-free in someone's head? What's it like?
Carrie knows all about that.
It's Penelope's head. That's the problem. I don't really want to be in Penelope's head.
You want to be in
I
a
would
higher rent district. Even
Right.
if it
I
is
would
really, you don't
Well,
like
you know,
accommodations. In
I
her
would
head,
report
you
it to
know.
the police. I would report it to the police that she's threatening you, calling you a terrorist.
Well, yeah, and I know she lives in Yorkshire, so I'm going to go to the West Yorkshire police. I think it's West Yorkshire where she lives, but I will find out first.
Can you
West
take a road
Yorkshire
trip
Police.
and stop at? Can you take a road trip and stop at West Yorkshire Spinners?
I could, yes, I could. Maybe when I go to see Annie, because I can go via Yorkshire. Well, I do go via Yorkshire. Don't
I
I?
hear that name.
Yes.
That's what I think of. Yep.
Then it's a business expense. You can write it off.
Yeah.
Speaking of West Yorkshire Spinners, they're about to release a brand new yarn imminently. I don't know when though, and it's called. I've forgotten. No,
It's called Go Walk, Go Broke.
Don't they all?
Bring it on, Penelope.
You know what? I have not gotten any negative backlash on any social media about the Let Them Live marathon knitters. So I think that's a positive sign in the world. Nobody's come off, about women's reproductive health and all that crap.
Give it time.
Well,
Give it time.
I'm sure there will be, but
well, no. Here's the thing about the website. The women on the website are there asking for help, right?
Right.
So if they're asking for help, it's different than basically going and telling women you can't do this, right? So
yes, but they want to get rid of anybody who asks for help, anyone who provides help too. Like I read an article where a pregnancy center is being sued by Planned Parenthood because they're in the same shopping center, and Planned Parenthood is suing them for stealing their customers.
You know what I would really like people to do? I would really like people to go and investigate the witch cults that go outside abortion clinics and get mothers that are going inside to sign papers for the lives that they're about to terminate. Nobody ever wants to talk about that, but they're there.
Really?
Kind of weird.
Why don't they go after the Biden administration, who is the one that removed the safety mitigations for chemical abortions, which is why women are dying of them now, because they're not required to have an ultrasound anymore.
We're bribing women to have babies.
Or go after the drug companies of the, non-surgical abortions, because women are dying from that, complications from those.
And we do get that from time to time, that they're like, you're bribing women not to have to not have abortions, and I'm like, you can call it that if you want. And we're not going to say that there has not been cases of women trying to take advantage of that system, but that's why there's a means and measures in place to make sure that the women are really in need.
Right.
But if that's what you want to call it, okay. I mean, that's not what the woman thinks. So,
So we're bribing women to accept the consequences of the actions that they freely engaged in.
Anyway, I'm going to circle back to Neil and to your rent head-free stalker lady. And I just want you to give me updates on how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a book. It's called The Gift of Fear. Have you ever read it?
The Gift of Fear?
Yeah.
No. Never even heard of it.
It's a really interesting book, and it actually talks about people like Penelope who are completely obsessed with other people and try to destroy their lives by various means. I think you would really like it.
I think I would.
I know somebody who needs that book.
I have a few people that would like to destroy me.
Sounds like she's kind of a stalker, Neil. There's anti-stalking laws.
Yeah,
well, there is, and that's interesting because she's the only British person that I can prove is actually doing stuff online. So I think there is enough to actually raise it as an issue. My main stalker, the one that has actually broken the law a few times now, the problem there is I don't have concrete evidence to actually present to say it's him. But I know it's him. Brilliant. Thank you, Caro.
You're welcome. I've done a lot of various reading ever since I got my job and had to navigate through the commentary involving my job. But it's like that one and the Narcissistic Handbook and a couple of others are very, very good reads that I would recommend when talking about irrational
Have you
people
seen
online.
Tabitha's comment? Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it will either.
No, I think it's going to be the best book ever written.
Yeah,
That's because you're in it.
I think people are going to be really invested in the plot here.
They're going to make a Netflix show all about it.
Yes, you are all correct. That is, in fact, the author of the book. So thank you.
Oh, and don't forget, what's she called? Hasn't done a video for over 2 months. So I'm wondering if I'm going to be the next one. What's she called again? Transgender person.
Are you misgendering her?
Emma at the moment.
Whatever.
Let's call it because I don't know whether she's male or female at the moment. So
Does she?
Does
she? Because a lot of people on the left don't know. So does she know she is?
I don't know.
No idea.
no,
What's her
no,
name?
no,
Emma.
women
That's it.
are
Emma in the
now.
moment.
All right.
Oh, pronoun in the moment.
Now that we are having a woman, vice president.
Does
You know-
Penelope just want to be in your magazine?
Is
Say
she
that
just
again.
jealous because is it
Sorry,
jealousy?
Annie, say that again.
Does Penelope just want to be in your magazine?
Oh, maybe because she was in the Knitter magazine about 2 months ago. So I get the Knitter magazine. So I was quite surprised. Who's got the feedback? Is it me?
It's Liz.
It's not
I'm
me.
leaving.
You're
Bye.
I'll try to be back. It's time to eat.
Oh, I thought you were the one with the wind tunnel.
No, it's not me this time.
Might have been me.
Oh,
It's
Get out.
It's through my Bluetooth. I'm
Nope,
good.
still
Hey,
there.
Caro. I know you're not ready to knit a sweater yet, Caro, but this popped up in my feed and it's crochet. So
I'm just gonna squint.
it's all skulls.
Ooh.
I love skulls. Oh,
It's all crochet skulls.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
It'll
You
go
need
with your
to-
skull.
You need to knit my skull pattern,
Sure.
Caro.
I have like yarn and stuff where I just haven't done it yet because I have cast-on-itis right now.
Well, Neil, I'm sorry that you're being threatened because it just frustrates me when people think that they could just go after people they just don't like. I mean, it used to be you went after people who were threatening your family or threatening something personal, but to just go after people like that and try to get them in prison just because you don't like them.
But what's funny
To
about
me,
it though, is that
it's
she
awful.
posted that a month ago, when all the riots were going on.
Mhm.
And
Right.
either the police are so busy that they haven't got round to me yet, or they did look and found nothing. Imagine that. Imagine if they'd looked and found absolutely nothing.
I bet they
Because
looked you up and they're like, "There's this charming man that knits. There's nothing to be concerned about here. It's fine."
Morrissey starts playing in the background.
They'd be like, how can a knitter do anything bad? That's what they would have been thinking.
I used to think that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we all did, didn't we?
Well, it's like whenever even Mike the other night when he heard about the knitting wars,
Yeah.
he's just like, people always think the knitting wars. How could there possibly be knitting wars? And then you go into some of the details and they're like, oh wow, it's a thing.
Well, here they're all a little bit emboldened because of Keir Starmer. But what they don't know is that there's going to be something coming out maybe in a week or two that potentially is going to bring Keir Starmer down, allegedly.
Is that his boyfriend's been giving his wife clothes?
Well, it might be that. We're not.
What?
Nobody's entirely sure if it is that, allegedly. What you said
Allegedly.
there.
Minecraft
But
land.
what we do know is that Parliament is all they're talking about amongst themselves is what this scandal is going to be, and they believe it's going to bring him down completely and that he'll have to resign. But
Does he
then
know
it's
Diddy?
a case of- well, possibly, allegedly. But then it's a case of who we're going to get instead, and it might be somebody worse.
Yeah.
So, you know.
The
That's
devil
a
you
shame.
know.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in a throuple, but supposedly I have heard rumors that the guy, the Lord, whoever who's been giving his wife all the freebies, has a special relationship with him. But I don't know
Lord
for
Ali.
sure.
He's called Lord
Yeah.
Ali.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
But
his
who
wife
knows?
knows about it, allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, she's getting free clothes. She
all
seems
the
to be
time.
okay with it.
And she won't have to sleep with Keir Starmer, so that's always a bonus, isn't it? Allegedly.
Yeah. God, politicians are so awful. I swear.
See,
They really
Yeah.
are.
I may have said this before, but Keir Starmer looks like the kind of guy who has his wife fool around on him. Apparently, he's the one doing the fooling. Like, he has that expression, that sort of dull, like, won't do anything about it look in his eyes.
Maybe they both are.
Like she has to tell him that she's having an affair. It's that kind of a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, our president is a corpse, sadly, and his vice president's not much better.
Did you see the thing about Tim Walz and his wife? Allegedly,
What now?
when they were both teaching, they just them and this trans student, they took this trans student to an Indigo Girls concert, which seems a little inappropriate to me.
Yeah.
But the more I see this Tim Walz, the less I like him. I mean,
I like the video of him working on his truck, but his hands aren't dirty.
Right.
And it's like the way that the truck's done up, it's worth like $200,000. You know, middle class.
Then he's flipping off the people at the
I know.
Michigan game.
Then Kamala Kamala's wearing a $64,000 necklace to the border. Like,
They're just like us.
They're just like us, middle class, you know. And her husband, who's going on, they're talking about how he is the epitome of male masculinity. This is a man who cheated on his first wife with the nanny. I mean, why should anybody look up to this man as, you know, an idol of any kind whatsoever? But whatever. What's poor Dr. Jill going to do when she doesn't have all the free planes to fly around in all the time and all the fancy places and celebrities to hang out with?
Speaking of planes, did I hear correct that there was a plot to shoot down Trump's own plane?
That's what they're saying. The Iranians.
Wow.
I don't know. That's what I read. You think Dr. Jill will dump him in a retirement home?
When he's no longer president, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because he'll no longer be useful, will he?
Well, with whatever private care he may or may not already have, you know, why do nursing home? It's already
True. So I saw something that's totally different subject, but since a lot of us are Doctor Who fans, someone came up with this theory, and it says the Doctor and the Master implies a third, less prestigious renegade Time Lord called the Bachelor. An immortal who regenerates into new bodies but maintains the same core identity and continuity of memories, even if they're marked changes in personalities. Weirdly fixated on England. Who do you think they're talking about? What character?
Can you say it again? So there's the Master, the Doctor. What's the other one? A Bachelor?
The Bachelor.
in degrees.
Regenerates into new bodies but maintains the same core identity and continuity of memories, even if there are marked changes in personalities. Weirdly fixated on England.
Cliff Richard?
James Bond. James Bond. He's just regenerated into a new personality every time there's a new actor.
That would be some fun fan fiction.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
I'm sure somebody's written it. I just thought it was kind of funny because it was actually something that wasn't tearing somebody down for a change.
Well, that's different.
True. So what's everybody working on or not working on because their hands hurt?
I'll go. I have a hoe, a half hoe. I have a hoe.
A hoe?
I couldn't
What's her
find my
name?
sock blockers. They've run off.
Oh,
But
not
I
that
finished the
kind of
sock.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
I finished my
Ooh, I
sock.
like those colors.
They're just in time for spring. And so then I started the second one of the other maroon ones.
Ooh, pretty.
No second sock syndrome.
No, I have to cast it on right away. But see, I did a different one. So I'm alternating between two socks. So then otherwise I have really bad seconds. I didn't work on the red sweater, but I did. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Hang on. I did hopefully this isn't going to be finished for a while.
Hopefully.
What's that?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. I have finished the regular season of my Orioles blanket.
Oh, it's your blanket. I thought it was a sweater, and I'm like, why wouldn't you want to finish a sweater? It's your blanket. That looks really cool.
There's 162 rows.
Wow.
And
very cool.
That's very big.
Wow.
Ignored that black stripe. We had a couple of bad games. So hopefully, I guess if you go all the way through the entire Game 7 of the World Series, there's still 22 games left. So I'm hoping to put 22 more strips in. But
wow. Wow, good for you. That's not nearly as giant as that temperature blanket your daughter was making.
Yeah. Well, I did it it's very dense because I did it in single crochet because otherwise it would be ginormous. And I'm not weaving all these ends in. I'm just going to tie them and do a border around it.
Smart.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading the comments.
What's that?
Oh, Chicken Lady. The guys moved behind us out.
Yay.
No more mariachi music bass turned up so loudly that my lady bits vibrate. Okay, that's a little TMI, but good for you.
Or maybe not. Huh? You'll get to listen to those mariachi.
Yeah, we have a lot of mariachi where I am. Both my kids' high schools had award-winning mariachi bands and went to competitions all around the world.
What is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
You don't know mariachi music? It's Mexican loud bands and guitars.
They don't have Mexicans in Commonwealth.
Yeah, they wear these. They wear these flashy costumes. Okay.
Wow.
Have you ever watched the movie The Three Amigos?
No.
With Chevy? Oh, because they dress like that. But they have they play brass instruments and guitars, and they have singers, and it's very traditional. And both my kids' high schools had bands that went around the world participating in competitions. Because when my son tried to take guitar in high school, that there was one class, and then there was mariachi, and he didn't want to do mariachi, and he didn't have an electric guitar, so that was like the end of his guitar.
It's music to drink margaritas to.
Or music when your neighbors have a party and they don't realize that it's 4 a.m. nor do they care.
No, it's not. They don't realize. They just don't care. They don't care.
I had a neighbor once who lived below. This is years ago. And the only song that he would play was Sexy Eyes by Dr. Hook.
Oh, God.
And it went on till 4 in the morning, like non-stop, over and over again. So, Sexy Eyes. Oh, no, and When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. That was Dr. Hook as well, wasn't it? You're in love with a beautiful woman.
That isn't I agree, Tabitha, that is an awesome movie. You say it's your birthday at a Mexican restaurant and you get a personal concert. Yeah, pretty much. You tell them it's your birthday, they come over and they sing and
We don't get much Mexican over here, do we, Annie?
You're missing out.
No.
There's a lot of good Mexican food and people and
we have a
just
tiny
loud.
section in the supermarket of Mexican food, don't we? Is it El Taco or El something?
El Paso.
It's like, it might be like little kits where you make your own taco.
Yeah, that's El Paso.
El Paso, where I lived
like yellow.
Yeah.
It's like about that big. The aisle is literally that big. That's as much Mexican as I know about.
Aw, you should have more Mexican food.
El Paso. I think I got out right when I needed to.
Yeah, I think you did. Because I don't know if you'd be safe if you were there now.
I was a little concerned when we were there, but now. No.
What, Mexico? You lived in Mexico?
No, I lived in El Paso 2 winters ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where were you? Knew that?
Like full taco night, yeah.
I knew you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. The tacos there are abysmal.
Yeah.
It sounds still funny on someone.
It's not me because I keep muting my mic.
Should I mute mine?
I hope it's not me
Go on
because
mute for a second.
I'll have to do it on.
okay, but if nobody talks, then we won't know.
If you mute yourself on StreamYard, you will know.
Here, I will. Here.
It wasn't me.
Is it me? Because it shouldn't be.
It's
It
not-
is? Because I'm on the Bluetooth. It shouldn't be this time.
We're all muted but you.
Just
Oh,
mute
damn
yourself
it.
for a second. Oh, silent.
Yeah, it is.
How about now?
That's better.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's gone.
I don't know what it is because tells me it's on the Bluetooth that you shouldn't be hearing the room stuff, but
It might just not be doing the proper noise cancellation.
Yeah,
says
do you
it's
have
on.
a voice isolation option or not?
not that I know of.
It's
Yeah,
not
'cause
horrible.
sometimes
It's
it can
just a
isolate
little
just voices.
like it sounds like you're in the wind.
That's because I had a fan on because it's 90 degrees in here because my air conditioning doesn't work.
You are in the
Okay.
wind. There you go.
But I turned it off.
Oh, well, that's
Oh,
fine.
I turned it off for you people. So
You people. So when Liz falls backwards and just falls out, it's our fault.
I'll feel bad.
when I end the stream, suddenly you guys don't be surprised because
Where did she go?
that's right. It's okay right now. As long as I don't move around and knit, I'm good. But
Right.
I did get some yarn.
Oh,
I got Thicket from Chicken Lady. So that's going to be a hat or a cowl in the next block.
I do love that.
That's exciting. It is. It's really pretty. But you guys talk. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab something.
oh no, what are we going to say?
What are you working on? Tell me your projects.
What are you working on? Yeah.
I'm working on this.
Let me see.
Sure. What a
Ooh.
surprise.
yay, that's
Oh,
nice.
it's so strange. I'm trying to use that static yarn. This is my 7th attempt to try and do something with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that weird noise?
I
Someone's
don't
gone
know.
to the toilet, haven't they? That sounded like someone on the loop.
Anyway, that's what I'm working on. Anne, are you still working on your blanket?
I am still working on my blanket. I have 2 half blankets finished because I had this one from the beginning. And I had another one that I had started in the meantime. And before we did our challenge, so I was like halfway through that one, and now I'm halfway through this one. But the other one would be easier on my hands. But I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish for real. So I'm
Okay.
excited.
There. I grabbed an ice pack, so now I'm not so hot.
Move your black finger. Your finger's in the way.
Like looking through a letterbox.
No, it's where
That's
the
what it looks
clamp
like,
on
yeah.
my tripod holds my tablet, and it's right where the camera is, so it blocks the camera, and then it tilts. So, yay! So I went and got an ice pack, so I won't die on you guys.
Nice.
I appreciate you living. It means a lot to me.
Thanks for
Oh,
living.
thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate that.
Dare
What did I
moan about
miss?
How warm it is.
I know Caro's working on a shawl. I know Anne's working on half blankets
Mhm.
because she had to go off fancy and make her striped, and then I let her down and didn't finish enough rows, so I feel bad.
You're fine. Apparently, I can't do math. Well, we knew that, but still.
Because there was no spreadsheet, probably.
I said there's
Amy's not here. I wanted to tell her, did you know there's such a thing as spreadsheet championships that people compete in? It's crazy. They make all sorts of crazy spreadsheets and compete.
I am not one of those people.
Me neither. But Neil and Amy might be.
Oh.
What's Neil working on?
I love spreadsheet. I'm currently absolutely nothing, but I do have some whips. I'm working on a brioche cowl thing. I'm working on about 5 sweaters. I'm working on a baby sweater thing, cowl thing for Annie's granddaughter to be. And what else am I working on? A Tunisian jumper, sweater. I mean, you don't know what jumpers are, do you?
Yeah, we do.
We do. We
Hang
do.
around with you.
We're not
We've
complete
seen-
heathens, sir.
Some of us have read British literature, Neil. We you know.
We watch British
We
telly.
read Harry Potter. We know some British words.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry Potter's everything, isn't it? That's all you need to read, and then you know everything British.
You
Oh, I'm
know,
in the
the
middle.
amount of
I'm
things in Harry Potter that I'm like, oh, this is because they invented it because it's a British magical world. And it's like, no, our private schools actually have schoolhouses. And I'm like, what? I thought that was like a thing. I thought that was like a magical joke.
Yeah, Annie and I didn't go to private schools, did we?
No, but we had houses at our school.
Yeah, I was in Campion. What was your house?
I don't know. It's too long ago. I really don't know.
We did not have houses at my school.
Well, you
I
don't.
was
It's
in
not
the-
like Harry Potter. A house is not like that.
I know that, but still.
It's just
Liz-
another way to, divide
Liz-
us all and pictures.
Liz,
against
whatever you
each other.
do, stop your Bluetooth from clicking together, please. I'm sorry. I usually don't do that, but it's like really hitting me like in the eardrum.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sensitive to noise, but I haven't got headphones on, so I'm all right. It's probably worse with headphones on, is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Chicken Lady went to see a band from Bristol. I used to live in Bristol. It's a really, really cool town. I think it's a town, isn't it?
Don't know. Not my country.
City, I think, is it?
I don't know. I can't remember. I went to university there, but I still don't know whether it was a town or a city. No idea.
Isn't the football team a Bristol City?
Well, there's Bristol City and I think Bristol Rovers. I think there's two teams.
Yeah.
I used to live
Yeah.
directly next door to it. Yeah, I used to look out my window every Saturday and there'd be people fighting in my garden. And that was over the football.
That doesn't sound like sport ball.
Sorry, what was that?
Is it sport ball? Is this a sport ball thing?
Football.
Yeah,
Sport. I
ball.
say
Yeah.
sport ball because all sports usually involve a ball.
sport or-
Yeah.
Yeah, proper football. You know, where you hit it with
No.
your
That's no.
foot. Not that
did you
kind of football where you hit it with your hands.
Handball!
Did you guys see the Babylon Bee video about the brave 40-year-old man who identifies as a 6-year-old and plays t-ball?
No. But is that the bee or is that
No, it was the bee. It was the bee.
Well,
they
they're
were-
just predicting stuff now, like The Simpsons.
Pretty much, yeah. But it was done like a documentary, with the interviews and stuff with him and his coach, and how he never felt like he belonged in grown-up sports. And
So now he's
Now
competing with 6-year-old girls.
6-year-old boys in t-ball.
Oh God.
But
I know
was
it's not
funny.
real. It's Babylon Bee, but it is kind of real, isn't it?
Yeah,
Sadly, yeah.
it's sad when you have to read something and go, wait a minute, is this? Yeah.
Wasn't there a real story about a guy that tried to identify as a young girl and then was trying to go to like preschool or not preschool, but some kind of like
Yeah.
yeah, that
I
was
think,
a thing.
think it's when the Netherlands or one of those countries there was doing.
I have to Google.
They did a documentary on him. I think it was creepy. That's all I can say. So,
Inca's making a surprise appearance. You might see her tail go by.
aw,
She's the shy one.
aw,
She's off.
Lincoln, you miss it.
Yep.
So,
Okay, so I was right. So it's a Canadian father of 7, and he's 52, and he left his wife and kids to become a transgender 6-year-old and was adopted. There's a lot going on here. Okay.
I watched
That's
one of the
quite
Kelly
the
J.
difference
Keane
option.
videos the other day, and she made a really interesting point that I've never heard anyone else say, is that all these men that who are married with kids, who suddenly become want to be young girls themselves. It's always when their daughter has gone through puberty and has started their periods, and it obviously triggers something in the men that they want to be part of that process. Want to be.
Nobody wants to be a part of that process.
Girls, Neil, girls don't want to be a part of that process. Why do you think? No. Why do you think that's the age? Why do you think that's the age when a lot of girls identify as boys? Because puberty sucks.
I know. I'm not.
And they
I'm
can
not
pretend,
saying he's right. I'm just pointing out.
And they can pretend, pretend they're not going through it. It's way out.
It's either that or when the wives are pregnant.
Oh, because they want to be pregnant.
Why?
It's obviously
I don't think they want to be
female
pregnant
function
either.
that's triggering it, isn't it?
It triggers the fetish.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's creepy. Like our
Completely.
creepy president, who the other day at some rally they told him he couldn't talk to young girls or something. I don't know. And he said that to the press, that they told him he couldn't talk to the young girls. It's like,
That's
really?
awesome.
The filter's completely gone with that one.
When I went to let women speak, the people in the crowd were young people who were confused about the sexuality.
Is this the opposing crowd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And interspersed with some very strange-looking middle-aged men. There weren't that many that were like, middle-aged men dressed up as women. But there was obviously some shady characters within that group.
yeah.
That were there for all the wrong reasons. I mean, it's just...
Well, it's like I saw this thing with Kristen Bell, the actress, and her husband, and they were on vacation with their 2 little girls, and they let them run by themselves in this Dutch amusement park for 8 hours with no parental guidance. Just let them go. And I'm like, you had no clue where your child was for 8 hours in a country where they don't speak the language.
Sounds like the 70s and the 80s to me.
I was going to say,
Well,
the
yeah,
80s,
but-
yeah, you could do that, but
Yeah, but predators go to amusement parks. That's one of the places where they go to find children. But that they were like bragging about, it was fine because we were in the hotel and we were just like sleeping late. Yeah. And they would check in occasionally, and like someone could have done anything to your child.
Has anyone heard of that little girl named Madeline over there?
Well,
Was snatched
I mean,
out of her bed?
I could see if it's a place that near home that they're experienced with, and but when you're in a country where you don't speak the language and you just let your kids, what would they do if they needed help? Like, it just blows my mind. I mean, yeah, we did crazy stuff when we were little, but there was also a lot less predatory people, or at least we knew about fewer predators, I guess. There wasn't internet.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. Maybe Caro did it. She's practicing for the next half blanket.
Yeah, I gotta make sure you don't win next year using my techmancy skills.
If I'm with Tabitha, I'll win.
Depends on what they do, what kind of knitting they do, what
the
kind of
only
thing.
she'll
And
lose is purling. As long as it isn't purling, she'll.
Tabitha can purl. She just dislikes it.
No, she's just not very fast at it. She can purl, but she isn't fast at it either.
So she says, but I don't know if I believe that. She still makes things in stockinette pretty darn fast. So
I'm not fast at purling. Ribbing I can do like pretty quickly. But...
Ribbing I can do fast, but we'll just have to wait and see what we'll just see what Anne comes up with next year to challenge us. You got a whole year now.
Blankets, please. No bulky blankets.
I know. Like my hands are killing me. Believe me.
See, that's why I'm not doing mine in for another week. I'm going to let them rest before I go back to that. But
good idea. No, but when you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out how to work the
I know.
And
no, it was a great concept. It's just the bulky yarn was not something a lot of us. Yeah. I was okay the first 2 hours, but in the third hour, I was really feeling cramping. And by the last 20 minutes, I was doing like one row every 10 minutes because I couldn't hold on to the needles anymore.
I saw the struggle. That's why, think when we hit the last hour, I was like, and I think this is it. I think we're gonna be done.
But luckily, I mean, timing went out. So like the game was finished by then too.
Yeah.
So it didn't like drag on super long past pain.
I knew how many rows I needed to do an hour. And I was right there the first hour, but then I was like 6 rows behind the second hour, and then the third hour just went downhill.
Yeah.
But hey,
did you all work out how many you did a minute? Because mine worked out that I was only doing about 22 or 23 stitches a minute.
Mine was like 29, I think.
Yeah, so obviously I think I must have started fast and then really slowed down. Fast for me, I mean, obviously not fast in terms of Tabitha or Anne.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're getting tired, but also in the middle, there's so many more stitches that you have to push back.
Yeah.
Garter is not my favorite. I just have a struggle with garter. But regular stockinette, I'm fine. Well, then I'd have to learn brioche first. So would Amy, and I don't know if she wants to learn that, Neil. So
then you'd have to knit everything twice. I've done it like one time, and I didn't like it. Just saying.
What was I gonna say? I think Tabitha was freaking Mike out a little because of her staring. She was very intimidating.
I asked her how her hands were, and then I said, "Oh, it's probably just another day for you, isn't it?" She's probably been knitting for 7 hours already at that point.
Well, it is though. I can knit for several hours, but it's not just garter. It's if I'm doing stockinette, because you're purling, you're using different hand movements.
Inca.
So I think.
She hates being picked up like my other cats do.
There's a ugly cat.
Oh, she's loved.
Aw.
She's the only one that will be friendly to anybody who visits.
Aw.
The other two won't go near him.
I wonder if it's kind of like my brother's dog, who she's not a particularly friendly dog unless she wants something. She's a husky. She'll come up, she'll bark at you. But if like a stranger comes into the house, other dogs are like, yeah, I'm not so sure about this. And she's like, are you taking me home? Hi, I'm your best friend.
That's it. I think that's what she wants. She's hoping someone will take her away.
Like, I'm very charming.
Your brother's dog's loud too, right? Like most huskies.
Oh, gosh, she is.
Yeah.
Singing the song of their people.
Yes. But I mean, luckily it's not like howl all the time loud, but it is, hey, I want something. Hey, and you're like, I don't know what you want. I don't understand.
You need to start brushing her to get some of the fur, because you can knit with husky.
No, thank you.
No.
I don't like husky well enough, believe me.
Oh.
I don't think Neil's going to knit with dog fur anytime soon either.
No, well, I think I'm allergic to it. I think it definitely had a strange reaction. Well, I have a strange reaction to it. But I vaguely remember years ago having one of those allergy tests, because I have hay fever and he needs to find out. And there were 2 things that raised, they go red. And I think the other one might have been dog fur or something like that. And my friend's dog that I sometimes dog sit, if he licks my arm or my hand, it comes up in a rash, from his saliva. So I think there's definitely something. So
he's such a handsome fellow.
Hmm?
It's such a good-looking dog.
Yeah.
Who is?
Your friend's dog.
Oh, Dennis.
Yes.
Dennis the bulldog. Yeah.
It's a great name.
Oh, but I found out the other day that Dennis the Menace is different in the UK than in America.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know they were both invented on the same day?
Really?
Not by the same people, and they are completely different.
Huh.
Yeah. That's weird.
Because your Dennis the Menace is blonde and blue-eyed, isn't he, I think?
Yeah.
Whereas ours has black spiky hair, and he has a dog called Nasha.
Huh.
That's weird.
And it's why no one in the UK will wear a red and black stripy sweater, because Dennis the Menace wears a black and red stripy sweater. And if you wear one, that's what everyone says. A bit like Charlie Brown's sweater. If you had that zigzag on a yellow thing, everyone would say it, wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Except for Waylon, he will wear one.
Ah, yeah, of course.
So I'm trying to think ahead of all my knitting projects. We don't have any knit along for October. I'm very happy about that, but that means I have to get the one for November together. You know, I have to finish the secret project for you, Neil. I do, because I'm actually really digging the idea for the next knit along.
Okay, you want to.
I want to.
Okay.
But I have a time frame of I need to get it all together and thought out and before that time. So it's a deadline for another previous event. Now that I've just come off this one.
Have you designed your cowl yet for the competition?
Oh, that's another thing. I have for you, Neil, I have the cowl. I have the secret project.
Oh yeah.
Again, I have the upcoming I want to finish that dang sweater. Christmas is coming. Christmas knitting.
Yeah, my secret one's done, so I just have to do my pattern submission.
Needs to be blocked.
So does mine, and photographed.
Still, yes, that.
I saw. I'm not going to say any details, but I did see one of the other secret projects today, and it was pretty cool.
I saw one too.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's been two this week that have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was one of the secret projects, so I was like, "Oh, we shouldn't talk about it, really, should we? We're going to slip up."
You're in charge of the secret projects. Shouldn't you know what they are? Just saying.
No, I know nothing.
Schultz over here. I know nothing.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think, Annie, you asked me a question, didn't you, about the secret project the other day, and I couldn't answer it. And I think you said, "Are you not in charge of it or something?" I can't remember what you said there. I was like, "No, I don't know."
I was changing my project, yeah.
Oh.
I needed permission to change my project.
Like, don't ask me. I'm just here, you know.
Should ask Tabitha.
That's right. Tabitha's in charge
of everything.
I just have to do sleeves. So I shall have to crack on with them.
Yeah, but you're getting some baby knits done first, so that's good.
Yeah.
They're quick knits.
Well, I was on the train at the weekend and I didn't want to take a big project, so I started on a little one.
Mm-hmm.
That's always
I
good.
have to have a little one with me, yeah.
Oh, I found out, thanks to Liz, I found out about some new techniques this week. Fusion and fission.
Fission.
Is it
Fission.
And they're really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
yeah.
You know, my mind's been working non-stop since, thinking of possibilities that you could do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try and explain it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Liz, because obviously I only saw it today, so I know nothing much about it. But you knit with so you marl your knitting, so you've got two different colours together, and you knit everything with the purl side facing. So the purl side is the right side, and all of that knitting is done marled. And then what you do is you have a colour work pattern, but you only knit with one of the colours of your marl for that colour work pattern, and you can do all cables with it, can't you? Like have travelling.
I think all the background stitches on both sides are purled.
Oh, are they? Oh.
I think that's what she said. I don't know, because it's garter. If it's purl, it's purled garter.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The background's garter, at least in the video I saw.
Oh, I thought it was stockinette, but just in reverse. Right.
No, it's garter. And then the one technique uses two colors, and then the other technique uses more colors, I think.
Right. Because there's a third thing she's developing called woven knitting as well, which I think is just an extension of the other two, but slightly more complicated, I think.
Yeah. It's Mary W. Martin is the name. You can check her out on YouTube. She's got videos explaining it, but it's really cool because it's all these traveling like cables on the top of your garter. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and although it looks
yeah.
kind of complicated at first, I don't think it is. It doesn't seem to be that complicated.
Her video, it didn't seem that complicated because when you get to the stitch for your cable, because it's the one by itself, whereas when you're just doing your garter, you're getting one of each stitch together. So you're purling two.
So basically, as long as you can read your own knitting,
pretty
you'll
much,
kind of always know where you are, won't you?
Yeah.
I mean, there was
I
one
didn't really look in depth, but
she was slipping that stitch if it was that colour on that side, and she was knitting if it was facing you, and that made sense as well to me, anyway.
Yeah, I just think I don't think it's as difficult as it you might think it is, but I only watched the one video and then sent you the link because I knew you'd like it for your list of different knitting techniques.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with this list. I'm collecting a list. I'm compiling a list of all the different types of knitting that I've heard of. So, brioche, double knitting, intarsia, and so on and so on. And some of them are a little bit obscure, like that one I'd never heard of before. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that information once I've got it all, but I am thinking I might try and put something together, some kind of an issue where that gives you all the details of every little kind of way of knitting, but then with a link, to show you where you can get more information on, show you who the expert is, things like triple knitting or double brioche. I'd, put Nathan Taylor.
Yeah. Yes, because God forbid they would think that you were trying to claim that it was your technique.
Oh, God. The thing, can you imagine, though, they'd be saying, he dared mention my name. Call the police.
I just sent you a video earlier. It was somebody doing Tunisian crochet or knitting with two Tunisian crochet hooks.
Yes, I've seen that before. Yeah.
So I thought that was different.
It's how I'm going to be writing about that actually this week. The stilt walking knitters in France. So there's an area of France called I don't know how you pronounce it, Landais, and it's marshland. And for years and years, they don't do it now because obviously it's modern now. But for years and years, everybody used to walk around on stilts. It sounds like a joke, but it isn't. It's real. And they had shepherds and stuff, and the shepherds used to have these stilts with like a third leg at the back. And so when they wanted to just sit, they would just pull the third leg out. I know it sounds like a joke, it's not. And then they could just sit there on these three legs and watch their sheep on the marsh.
Hello, Joe Bob.
And they would knit at the same time, but they used to knit with hooked needles. And also, the men in South America who do the Portuguese style knitting, and they have like loads and loads of colours. They use really tiny needles with tiny, tiny little hooks on the end.
Why did they walk on stilts? They lived in a marsh?
Because
marshland.
They lived in a marsh.
I live in a marsh, and I can't imagine people walking around in stilts.
I think it was a bit like quicksand, or a quagmire or whatever, so they would have been sucked in, I think.
Oh, okay.
The postman used to run on stilts, apparently, in this one village.
Joe Bob's here. We miss her.
Hi, Joe.
Joe, you were a blast the other night giving Tabitha all those things to do. So thank you for donating the money and making Tabitha throw her yarn. Because it was totally worth it.
That was funny.
We still won, Joe. She changed tactics, didn't she, halfway to try and slow me down, thinking that would help.
Yeah, she does deserve you. You two are a good pair. Without a doubt. So, did you see the pictures she took of her new cow with Paisley, Neil?
I did. Yes, they're brilliant.
They're really nice pictures.
Yeah. There's one in particular.
She's grown up so fast.
Could be a cover, but she's got competition for the cover this month. I don't know what's going to happen just yet. So
make them fight for it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, those are fighting words, with Tabitha.
Daisy will fight dirty. She'll win.
Oh, well, and they're both in the same state.
Yeah.
So Sean is the other cover candidate. And so there might be a real fight.
That seems like a formidable pairing, though, because... Yeah.
Yeah. Do a naughty and nice list. A naughty list of folks reinventing the wheel, claiming existing techniques, and a nice list of actual novel techniques.
Yes, that's a good idea, actually.
Joe, you should always be on the cover.
Ones.
Yeah.
Who should always be on the cover?
Joe.
Well, are you going to wear some knitting that's been a design that's... Well, if you do the Murder Knit shawl and you pose it, we could put you on the cover with that.
Oh, Neil. Do you know what you've done?
I could hear screaming in an Australian accent. Coming in.
It's Australian noises coming from the distance.
Oh, yeah. That's my girl. So yeah, don't be going after our Brit friends because they're not bad people trying to, do terrible things.
Terrorists.
I was trying not to use that word because I don't know if you want to use that word in the same, word with you guys so that, somebody can say, see, they even said they were terrorists, because like they always say, you talk about sex, Neil. So
yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it in about a year.
No, but I have when you've been nearby. I'm clearly doing it for you. You've controlled. You are the puppet master.
Well, as I've said, it's when everyone sees me, they just think of sex. I can't help it.
it is what it is.
How you are.
It is what it is.
I don't think I'm conservative anyway.
Well, conservative with a small c, so basically anybody who isn't a left-wing nutter.
Yeah, no.
And see, they're going to tell you that you're wrong and that you really are. When you argue, they're going to say that you're trying to gaslight them, right?
Oh, one of them actually said, and I laughed out loud, said, can you believe that these people don't, that they don't believe in Antifa? It's like, so they're actually for, as in fascists. It's like they believe that Antifa are actually anti-fascist just because they call themselves anti-fascist. It's like, how stupid do you have to be? Just because you call yourself something doesn't mean you are it.
Mm-hmm.
But
they are the good guys party. And don't you know, by default, if you're against the good guys party, you are the bad guys.
It's just an interesting space. Like, I'm trying to think of a quick way to paraphrase it without getting on a soapbox because I don't like doing that. But it's really interesting when we have like this ability to choose, right? And so like in some cases, like, let's take tomboys, for example. Tomboys are usually female that have like, boy antics, right? They're kind of masculine, they're forward, they're aggressive, right? But they're still kind of like, but sometimes I like to wear a dress and put on some mascara, right? Well, you used to just say that they were tomboys, but now modern society is like, well, actually, you're trans, and I know you don't know that, but you really are. And it's like, no, I'm pretty comfortable with how I am. It's like, no, you need to understand. This is what you are, and that drives me nuts. Mm-hmm. I love it when people come and tell me what to think and how to feel and how to do both.
It's worse when they're telling children, and when it's a person of authority telling children.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to give too much away, but I've just had the answers to some questions from a certain Australian lady, and they're hilarious.
Oh Lord!
Oh crap!
We're in trouble, Therese.
Well,
I'm
in trouble because I haven't sent him mine.
Hey, I was as diplomatic as I could possibly be.
Joe's not been diplomatic.
Shocking.
And that's why we love her.
It's not a surprise.
Can you see Millie?
Oh yeah.
She's waiting for me at the doorway.
She got back to you.
It's time to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to finish up soon here because I'm dying. Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to go.
This heat is not fun.
Oh.
But Saturday was a lot of fun, Anne. Thanks for letting me hang with you guys and be part of the chaos. It'll be a while before I use the giant needle, I'm sure.
Well, if we gotta wrap up, let's wrap up for you.
I'm okay for a few more minutes, but last week we said we were going to wrap up early and we went 3 hours. So
Oh yeah.
You know. But, trying to think of what else out there. I've liked the fact that Bitch Eating Crafters is back because it's hilarious.
The Who Crafters?
Bitch Eating Crafters on Reddit.
The Cheating Crafters?
No. Bitch Eating.
Okay. Neil,
sorry.
Do you know
How many times did you have to say it, Neil?
Do you know about the cracker thing?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I thought she was saying cheating crafters. I didn't.
No,
I'm going deaf in my old age.
Crafters, and I still say crackers because
Well, funnily enough, they're not as bad as the craft snackers, though, are they?
No, that's why I'm glad it's back because you know they're more they're less. When they call out things, it's like with less personal animosity, it seems.
Well, they went for 2 people this week, didn't they? They've gone for James Watts again, simply for existing.
That pissed me off because he
and the other
didn't
one
do anything.
They've gone for Baby Cat's Yarn.
Yes.
And also...
I didn't read that one yet.
Locatelli.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't seen either one of those.
Yeah, and it's first silly. Anne might agree with this though, because I know Anne doesn't like it, but it's because they used AI generated images, and it's like, well, so what? You know, and they try and say that it's stealing from real artists, and it's like, well, no, it's not, because every artist steals from another artist. That's the whole point of art. You know, you learn from other things that you see, and everything's a pastiche of somebody else. And it's like, well, name some of the artists. You know, if you can't name the artists that they've stolen this from, then nobody's hurt. And it's just like, why shouldn't somebody try and save some money because they can't necessarily afford to pay a real artist to make, you know, it's, I don't know. I just think it's
Are they doing like sweater outlines for the pattern? Like,
I don't know what Hohi Locatelli did, but I think Black Cat had got some kind of Baby Cat, sorry, not Black Cat, Baby Cat. I think she had some kind of theme for some yarn, and I think the initial thing, it's a bit like, say, if you'd have done the Puritanical Knitting Fun Run with AI generated imagery. It was to advertise whatever the product was, but the product was real yarn. You know, she wasn't pretending AI had, you know, made these yarn things, you know what I mean? So I can't see what the big deal was.
oh no, the Puritanical Knitting Fun Run does not only have peak logo. I love that logo so much.
Me too.
But we stole that art rightfully. It's a historical piece.
You stole it.
You have to be offended. Let's go.
When are you going to do that one again?
Oh. It
Have
was
you noticed?
October. It was October and November last year, but I didn't want to do it again. I wanted to, you know.
Yeah, have you noticed every one of these things that Anne comes up with, people do them once and don't want to do them again because either they've gone blind from knitting in black or they
that was wild. Yeah.
And like Shark Week's an event, but you know, whenever it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. I'm like, oh, okay. How much black yarn can we really knit with? A lot, I know that, but you know.
I didn't take part in that one, and I should have done.
Oh, it was great. I had to reknit my sweater because I felted it.
Oh,
I haven't finished mine. I like it.
That's
though.
okay.
What did I do for Shark Week? Oh,
you need to get DK to make those T-shirts in the larger sizes too, Anne.
okay.
Because I want a T-shirt with that logo because it's really cool.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So.
Of course, we don't have a T-shirt for our channel, but you know,
You should do.
Well,
I should as
we're
well.
working on it. We're working on it.
it's on
I
the
love
list.
t-shirts. Hey, people love T-shirts.
Oh,
Someone needs to, we need to make a decision on an actual logo.
Yes, we do. Okay, I'm part of the problem. Okay, I am the problem. I get it.
No, I'm not saying you are.
I'm saying I am. Okay.
Okay.
Let her speak her truth.
I'm speaking my truth.
Because then we can do some merch because people have asked us about that, which is kind of crazy that people want it. But hey,
to be honest,
T-shirts are cool.
I don't love AI stuff.
Yeah, but I can't draw. So if I found it, I thought if we had an AI one, then we could get one of our graphic artists to actually get us a drawn version of the general AI
God,
one. Is
man,
what I'm saying.
You should see the
feel the
pictures
art
that
from
I
AI.
send over. It's like, so I was thinking the logo would be like the ugliest shark you've ever seen, but it'd be kind of like this.
Okay, I need to put in a call to my youngest daughter, who is actually an artist, and
We'll
say,
do
hey,
it. And
hey, remember that time I gave birth to you? How about you return the favor and make me a logo? And she'll do it.
Oh, Millie.
Yeah.
How is Millie?
It's Millie.
She's good. She's all right.
Aw.
she's such a sweet cat. Like she just
She's
does her
cuddly.
thing.
Yeah. She's just a bit wobbly. That's it. She's all right.
Aren't we all? I mean,
That's the truth. We're all wobbly.
we're
So
all
if anyone wants to join my knit along, you can also double dip in any other knit alongs. I think Tabitha might be doing a knit along. Cabot Cove knits.
doing
Murder She Knit one.
winter. Yeah.
So
I think
anyone
maybe
wants to double dip, they
Did you
can.
say it was a sweater knit along y'all were doing?
Yeah.
That's what Liz has decided.
Yeah. till you have till January 7th though,
Nice.
and whips are allowed. So
Nice. Well,
Liz,
I have
maybe
that
the
one.
other thing we push back a month.
yeah, we could do that.
So we
Oh,
don't-
February. That would be a good month to do it. February, because you
Yeah.
know.
Yes.
Okay.
We're cooking up stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to be part of the.
We're not as clever as Anne, but
Since none of us did that fest that we were going to knit along.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Someone's
I think we should
That's-
all choose a project that we're definitely gonna make, and then
Yeah, spent
I
£70
do know a
on the yarn.
I do want to knit it. I just haven't been in the mind space to actually sit down and knit it. And then when Joe did it, she had a problem with the size, and then Shauna had a problem with the size too. So
That's the only reason I didn't do it. I'm worried about the size.
yeah,
it'd be funny to do a knit along where it's like yarn that you got for another project, and you have to use all of it for
Ooh.
something else. Like you
Genius.
can add
last
to it, but
meter of it.
yeah. So if you're like, oh well, I had 8 skeins of this, and I was gonna make a sweater, it's like, okay, use them.
Do it. That's a good idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe what we should do, if there really is a problem in the sizing with that pattern, maybe we should rechart it. Because we've got the chart for the design, haven't we? So if we can find a good vest pattern that the sizing of it is better, and then we can make sure the gauge of the color work is right and everything, we could just redo it.
Oh, so we haven't done it.
So much. Yeah.
So we haven't done it not because we are lazy and we didn't bother. It's because we need to reevaluate the pattern specifics. I like that way better. That's much better reason why we haven't done it.
And obviously, it's going to
I
take.
didn't even get yarn together.
It's going to take 10 years for us to get all that information
it
together to rechart the sweater. So
hey,
Well, then we'll just have
we've
to
got
wait.
nothing but time.
It's fine.
We want to do it right.
We have all the time in the world. It's fine.
Joe
Joe
says
would
I
just
would just knit it in the smallest size. Oh, so
Yeah,
was
I
it
can't
that
wear
it was too big? Is that what the issue
big.
was?
I think that was Shauna's problem. Was it was too big.
It's too
I
big.
thought it was too small. Right. In that case, I'd probably be okay with it then.
I still like it. I really like it, and I like the
Yes,
color.
yes, but I don't want to start it right now. So
I know. I
you
don't
can't
want
come
do
to
it
that. You can't come to that decision, Neil, for a few more months,
Mm-mm.
and then we can say, "Oh, wait, we looked at the pattern and we decided it's fine after all."
Do you know, next time we do knit alongs, what we should do is actually do a knit along. A bit like
We should actually
Anne's
do
blanket.
it. What?
Because look at how far we got through that blanket. So we should do one where we
Way too
cast
big.
on at the same time and we start knitting.
Yeah, that's the Shark Week is, and then if you don't finish, you have to tear it apart. No pressure,
Maybe-
but get it done in a week.
Every night for a week, wouldn't we? We'd have to do it every single night.
Well, or I mean, not necessarily the pull it apart thing, but you could like invent some sort of penalty if you don't finish it as per date.
Trust Anne.
I'll shut up now.
I'm not ripping out stranded No, I'm not doing that.
Don't
You
worry,
can tell
Amy.
Anne invented the phrase "no pain, no gain."
No
You know,
pain, no gain,
she
yeah.
lives by that.
Amy can make a
I'm a
spreadsheet,
very
I'm sure.
competitive person, so if you're like, "Oh, finish it anytime," it's okay. Like the cowl. Oh crap! I meant to get the cowl pattern too, Therese. I'm so sorry, but the one that I'm doing that's like, "Oh yeah, well, that pattern will be out, sometime."
That's so
That's
me
not how I
because
work well.
What time is it? Okay, it's 8:20. Okay.
Well, if you want to win $50 cowl competition,
That's right.
don't forget. You've got till Christmas to design it and knit it and photograph it.
Today is the last day if you're doing the squares for Jackie Crochet ADHD.
Oh, okay.
That's today. Also today, somebody needs to go wake up the Green Day guy.
September has ended.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, it's October now.
Well, for you guys, it is.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Is it?
Wow.
Today's the 29th for us. Today's the 30th. Okay, today is the 30th. I
30th.
lost track. Saturday into today just kind of blended because,
So we're actually a month ahead now, Annie. We're a month in the future.
How are things next month?
Just
Joe
as
Bob's
shit as they were last month.
Much the same as last month.
Joe Bob's even farther than you are.
We've still
yeah.
both got crappy leaders.
Cold
Don't
and
we all?
wet.
Yeah, I wish we had. My son was complaining because he got his car, he rushed his truck, and he's like, and then it rained because it rained on his part of town. It didn't rain on my part of town. I'm like, don't you understand that that's what happens when you wash your vehicle?
Uh-huh.
We took ours twice in a week, hoping we would get rain, but it did not happen on our side of town. So, but all right, I'm gonna have to tap us out because
All right.
it's like 93 in here, so
Oh,
that's a lot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's still October. It's still, it's October, and we're still over 100 degrees, so it's getting kind of old. It would be nice to be in the 90s sometime soon.
That's
pull
just
out
me
the sweaters.
replying.
Yeah, that and my tablet's heat feels like it's overheating too. So thanks for joining us, everybody,
Thanks, everybody.
and thanks for coming, chat. Joe, we have to figure out a time to get with you
Yes.
on.
We're
'Cause it's
thinking, we're cooking up. Okay, guys, programming alert. Possibly sometime around the end of the month, we might be switching the day.
Yeah, but before then, we might also do an extra weekend chat with Joe Bob.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we're trying to fit Joe Bob in. I don't know. I mean, we might still keep the Monday. I don't know what.
It
We miss
depends.
Joe Bob.
Yeah, and Tabitha said she can join if it's not our normal time because
Right.
she's got kids
Because
home
she's
from
got
school.
littles in school, and
Yeah.
Well, if it's
So-
earlier, that would be better for us as well, wouldn't it, Annie?
Well, that's what we were
Yeah.
thinking too. It'd be better for you guys.
But then we have
So-
to change it to knit afternoon.
No, it's just knit night in the afternoon.
Midnight in the morning.
Knit night in the morning.
Night at noon.
And then we'll need separate logos for each one.
Yes. Oh my
Midnight around 11s.
brunch with the knitters. Yeah.
Like the old timey late night radio shows. How they be, knit night at night. It'd be like midnight in the morning
Midnight after dark.
after dark. Yeah.
After dark.
Like PIK after dark is what it says.
Yes.
It's probably all after dark for all of you except me
Oh, it's dark
right
yeah.
now.
Before dawn for us.
Yeah. We're saying we're flexible. Probably
Okay.
not physically
Yeah.
flexible, but
We'll do our best and try to keep it so more people can watch and everyone can come on.
Yeah.
So
Could
thanks
just
everybody
alternate
for
it,
joining
couldn't
us.
Neil's got to go to bed.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
Thanks Annie for coming. Thanks Caro and Annie and Ann and Neil and Amy who was here briefly but now is probably eating dinner.
Yeah, Amy's sitting back and
So and we'll let you know, but thanks everybody who participated in the Let Them Live last month with PIK.
yes.
We really appreciate it. So thanks for supporting the babies.
Please.
That probably makes us domestic. It probably makes us domestic terrorists, but you know, what are you gonna do?
I guess they're just gonna have to hate me.
People who don't want anybody to die are terrorists.
Well,
that's an interesting.
There's a lot of circular logic out there.
That's not even circular. That's like That's like
circular. She said, didn't she?
Swastika, or oh no, I didn't say that. Good thing we're not monetized, right?
Right. Hey, we didn't mention the sea disease, so we're all good.
Yeah. But you just did.
Yeah, but I didn't call it that, so we won't get a community note, so it's all okay.
Somebody mentions Mark's sign in his trials.
That's it now.
All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you liked us, liked and subscribe. We appreciate it.
Share with your friends, all that.
Follow everybody online. We're all there. Don't report Neil or Annie for anything wrong because they didn't do anything wrong.
We're innocent.
No.
And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.